Hello, my friends, and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. The French citizens are again going out in the street to protest the so-called pension reform. I think this is their fourth time coming in the street. Last week, I think they came out about 800,000 people around France, and that's a mass protest, and it's reported by everyone. So let's read it first from Sputnik, and then we'll read it from some free media, which is from the free world. Okay, so let's get going. So as I said, it comes from Sputnik. It says rally against pension reform takes place in Paris 2 hours ago. Today is the 16th of February 2023. On January 10th, French Prime Minister Elisabeth Borne presented draft pension reform legislation, which the government plans to bring in September 2023. Nationwide strikes have been taking place throughout France ever since. Sputnik comes live from Paris as protesters take to the streets for a fifth, they had four, now it's the fifth round of protests against pension reform. The first general strike against reform took place on January 19th and brought together more than 1 million people nationwide, with 80,000 in Paris alone. A total of 2.8 million people took part in the second demonstration on the 31st of January. However, only around 757,000 people showed up at the third nationwide protest last week, with 57,000 in Paris. So this comes from Sputnik. Let's go to the free world here. Associated Press. France's fifth day of pension reform protest tests resolve. Yeah, how? You're just gonna stay there for a few hours and then you go home. And the people in the government, they will just look down the window and drink their little champagne and say, okay, are the weasels still there? Yeah, okay, all right, let me know when they're gone. Oh, look at them, what beautiful hats they have over there. Oh, look at this. Yeah, that's what they do. Work within the system. Remember that one? Yeah. So protesters gathered before a demonstration against a reform aimed to raising the minimum retirement age from 62 to 64. Thursday, February 16, 2023, in Paris, France is bracing for a fifth day of nationwide strikes and protest Thursday against the pension reform that is the flagship policy of President Emmanuel Macron's second term. Very good flagship. So this latest is a series of protests that began last month, is expected to be less disruptive than on previous occasions, with the Paris metro and most mainline train services working normally and most schools unaffected. Fewer people were expected this time amid school holidays and as unions look towards March 7th, when a rolling general strike has been called. So let's see if they have the proposed pension reform aimed at raising the minimum retirement age from 62 to 64 have unleashed, and I think they do it 3 months each year. So the first year 3 months, from 62 and 3 months, the next year 62 and 6 months, the next so on. Have unleashed the most turbulent debate in years in the National Assembly, with uncertainty looming over the final outcome. Yeah. So let's see what else is here. It's going to be the powerful hard left union is also keeping its eye on March 7th, when unions threaten to bring France to its knees. Okay, we'll see how that's going to work. It's going to be one day. They're going to be just waiting. I'm talking about the elected officials and the government bureaucrats. So this is how democracy works. You don't like something, you come and protest, or you organize some meetings, but they have to be allowed, legal. You can't just start it, because you have to be orderly, which I understand that one. All right, so you do this, and then you stay outside, you say, and you go home. And then you do it again, and then you do it again, and then you do it again. Why would a weasel change his policy seeing you outside? You will not vote for him anyway. Oh, you're gonna vote if I change it? I strongly doubt that. Why? Because you're not going to give anything. You're just going to not do something bad to them. So if you would say, okay, I'm going to do it from 62, I'm going to do it to 60. I'm going to drop it to 60. Oh yeah, then I'm going to vote for you, right? But if you say I'm going to get it from 62 to 70, and then after the protest, I'm going to say, well, no, from 70, I'm going to go back to 62. The guys are still not going to vote for you. Why? Because you tried your best and we had to come in the street and protest, and therefore we made you, that's how we think, we made you not do something bad. So people will still not vote for you. So then why would you go with that? Why don't you go with whatever you intend to do? Because not popular, they say what? 1 million people? That's not the entire France. How big is France? 60 some million or something? If I remember correctly, just top of my head, I don't know, 10 years ago, 15 years ago, last time when I checked. Anyway, something like that, 70, I know it's smaller than Germany, which is 80, and I was about to say 80 billion. 80 million. It was like, oh, 80 billion. So 80 million, I think France is about 60 or something like that, 67, 60 something. No offense to France, get more immigrants, you're gonna grow faster. And then you're gonna sing Les Enfants de la... whatever it's gonna become. Good luck. You're on the way anyway. That reminds me of Arthur Schopenhauer, the German philosopher. You're not gonna like this, my French friends, because he didn't like French, because he was a German. At that time, the French, So he said that in one of his, I can direct it straight to his book. His book is called Life, Love, and Death. That's a beautiful book. It's politically very, very incorrect. I suggest that, I recommend it heartfully. So it's, as I said, Life, Love, and Death. Beautiful book, especially about the love. They're gonna arrest you if you read that one. Hey, what do you want? Those were the days of my life. Anyway, those were the times. So he said that, every continent has, I don't get it out of context. That's what he said. Every continent has their monkeys, he said. We have French by compensation. That's Schopenhauer. I quoted him. It's not, I don't support that. I don't know. It's just, so anyway, let's go back to this thing here. Do you think that the governors will do anything about it? I don't think so. And if they do, they have to go below. Otherwise, as I said, and this is democracy, which I'm okay with that. But again, these guys can wreck a country in one term, and then it's not certain that the next government will overturn what these guys did. So if you think that Macron, let's say, all this is going to work, if it's going to work, then what do you think? The next government after Macron is going to reverse? Look at the Republicans here. When they have a majority or something happened, the Democrats are real in, it's like Russia, consistent. If I told you I'm going to punch you in the face, I'm going to punch you in the face. That's what the Russians are. Or if the Russians tell you I'm going to give you $1, I'm going to give you $1. The same with the Democrats. We're going to wreck this country, and they do it. Every time they get the power, they immediately get the work, and they get the job done, good or bad. The Republicans somehow, when they get to power and they have the leverage, it's like they don't reverse what the other guys did. It's just maybe That's why we have so many freedoms, a lot of them in liberties nowadays, because the Republicans are just over there as a how would I call it? Just like a wooden leg, and you massage the wooden leg. I'm gonna have a massage right now. Okay, yeah, all right. Why? Makes no difference. It's just for some of us to make us feel that we have a democracy here, which, yeah, it's democracy. You can go and vote, but you have options. Options by name, but not by fact. That's my personal assessment of this. Is the same. It's like you have two, how do you call them? Identical twins. So they have the same parents, which the same parents are the ones that, give them campaign contributions. Legal, but no, nothing. So yeah, you have one party with a mustache, the other party with no mustache. There's a difference between these Republicans and Democrats. The problem is one of these parties is doing something, the other one is just there to, hey, I'm here as a second option. But when you get voted in, don't do anything. Look at Trump. And not only Trump, the beginning, he had the power and then reversed. Well, anyway, not only Trump, but I'm talking about the Senate and the House. So this is it. These guys are having their demonstrations, and then they will go home, and then again, and then again, and that's it. Nothing will change until these guys are getting a deal somewhere. And when you think that the unions were going to do and twist the hand of Macron and all that, unless Macron doesn't get something and what he wants is votes, he's not going to do anything. Sometimes some people create problems so then they can be the ones as well coming and solving the problem. Or if they don't create a problem, they make someone create a problem for them, and then they intervene and say, hey, I'm going to take care of you, and then gets the votes. And people, oh yeah, let's vote for that guy, he solved our problem. Yeah, but you don't know that he actually was the one who initiated the whole BS. Anyway, I'm not saying this guy should not protest. They should, 100%. I'm just very skeptical that the politicians care about that. Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. I hope they get what they want. But on the other hand, you have this part of the population, you don't know what the other side of the population thinks. Because yeah, you can have some noisy people here in this country that promotes a kind of, I don't know, let's say equity, diversity, and inclusion, and there's just a minority, I'm just saying, could be a minority, a noisy minority, and everybody would think, just because they see it on the TV, and they see it on schools, pushed on at work, that this is actually a majority. It's, yeah, everybody wants that. If you make a little, how do you call it, referendum about that, you might find out it's not so, but that's why they keep you very far away from a referendum, because they know better what you need. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.